What's going on, guys? Blake Hawthorn, it's his turf. Tonight we're going to see how you can make money with a broadcast spreader. Welcome, guys, to Lawn Care Tips and Tricks. Tonight we'll be talking about overseeding with annual ryegrass. It's not about this piece of equipment. This is the Echo RB60 spreader. Comes in at a price point at $100, but I'm going to talk to you about tripling that investment on your first service. So guys, we're able to go out and to offer this annual ryegrass overseeding for our customer. 1, he gets a green lawn year round. 2, we get to extend our mowing season. And 3, you don't have to have a license to do it. So guys, the great thing about this is something that you can do right now in the winter to continue making some money. So before we jump into those 3 points, I do want to talk about this spreader for just a second. Like I said, it comes at a price point right at $100. We were able to take it out last week, put it up against a residential Scott's version, up against the Lesco commercial version, and the agricultural version of the Groundworks. And so guys, the great thing about these 4 different spreaders is it allowed us to get a feel for how they felt, you know, with the terrain of the yard, the different wheel size, the different capacities that they held, get a feel for each of them. The great thing about this one is it was kind of a middle of the road. It really came down to the Lesco in this one. The Lesco, you know, definitely beats it out of the water, but it comes at a price point of $400 to $500 for the version we were using. And so at $100, you really can't beat it. So that's what I want you to look at, guys, is this is a very cheap investment, a way to get into this service. 1, pay for your tool on your very first project, and then start making profits right away. And so that was why I wanted to talk a little bit about this. Has a great feel for it. It's got plastic components. It's definitely got some downfalls, but all in all, it's a really good spreader. Guys, let's jump right into those 3 points and let's focus on this service alone. So guys, this service all kind of birthed from the fact that our customer didn't like that his lawn went dormant in October. So we had to come up with a solution of how he could have a nice green lawn year round. The only thing I could think of is if we could add some kind of annual grass, because fescue doesn't do well here. And so it was already sodded with Bermuda, and we had to have something that would allow it to stay green. We thought about, you know, going in and spraying it with a dye, but that just didn't seem like a good idea. So we found out that we could actually put in an annual ryegrass that would burn off in the heat of the summer come May. And so that's what we did, guys. We overseeded it with annual ryegrass. We overseeded it pretty heavily, but it was super easy. We just put it in this broadcast spreader. We walked over the lawn, and then we were done. You know, try to keep it out of the flower beds, you know, blew it off the sidewalks. That's all that this service kind of took to make sure that he was going to have a nice lush green lawn. We didn't have to score the ground. We didn't have to run our seeder or dethatcher over it. It is literally just broadcasting the grass seed over here. So we had 1, the broadcast spreader, and then 2, the ryegrass. That's all you needed. The next thing we want to talk about is the benefits of this. 1, the customer's getting the nice lush green lawn that he wants. It stripes really well. You can see the picture here where Kevin striped it last year using the Gravely and the Skag, but it looks beautiful. But besides that, is it added annual revenue for us. We were now mowing his lawn from October until May. Even though our grass starts to green up in April, it kind of goes through this weird coming out of dormancy look where, you know, it's half brown, half green, and it just doesn't really start to grow and take off until May, June, when the temperatures are getting up into the 60s in the evenings. And so this allows for us to mow all the way through that time of the year and just continue making money every single month. That's huge for us. And so I hope that you'll consider it for a service for your company. 1, the planting of the grass seed, because it took me a little over an hour to do 3 bags, and I was charging $100 a bag for that. The cost of the material ran me right around $50, and I'm making right around $50. I ran up there. It's an hour drive to the job site. I ran up there one afternoon, knocked it out, and then I was headed back. So $150 profit, paid for this. Luckily, Echo sent us this to review. I didn't have to pay for that, but even if I would have had it paid for and still made $50. You know, I would have covered my fuel getting there, completely break even on my first project. And now any other overseeding I do would have been profit and money in my pocket. And that's huge. How many other services can you pay for your piece of equipment in your first service and start making profits immediately after? And so that's what I want you to think about, guys, is some things that you can do, some services that you can offer where you can do things like this. This is one of those things you can do in the fall to start making some money and then increase your growing season on into spring. This is something we haven't done in the past. We just started doing it last year, and we're implementing it more and more into our business model. I think the more that customers are going to see this, the more customers that are going to want it, but it's our job as contractors to educate our customers and to show them things like this that they may want that they don't know about. There's definitely some other services that you can do in the wintertime, like cutting trees, but the thing you have to think about is the increase in your insurance. I know my insurance has a huge increase when we're going to go do tree work. Also, you can do pre-emergence fertilization, weed control. but that also takes a license. So things that don't affect your insurance, don't affect your license, this is a great product and a great service that you can provide that doesn't require either of those, and you can just instantly start making some money. So guys, I hope that you will consider doing this, adding it to your services, and just start making some money, thinking outside the box. What are things that you can do to educate your customers, increase your revenue, and continue extending your growing season 12 months out of the year? We're able to do 90% of this property using our RB60 broadcast spreader. There were some steep hills back behind the gazebo that we had to use our Earthway satchel spreader. This thing's pretty cool. It's literally just got a shoulder strap, and it holds about 15 to 20 pounds of seed. I've had this thing, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and they're great. They do have a little dial over here where you can adjust the broadcast. They have a little metal clip where you can set it, or you can just adjust it with your hand if you lose it like I did. But it's a pretty neat product. I'll leave a link down below in case you're interested in this. I think it runs around 50 bucks or so. Either way, whether you get, a push behind or you get the satchel, it's a very cheap way that you can get into offering this service and making profits instantly. But guys, thank you so much. I do appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time as we talk about customer relations and how you can constantly be building your clientele no matter what you're doing. So guys, God bless, and we'll see you next time.